Man, I'm looking pretty ripe. Hey guys, I just wanted to say something before we start with episode 7. It is 1 a.m. Monday morning, and I am apologizing because this video is pretty late. I had everything edited and ready to go Sunday morning, and then the memory on my laptop just blew everything up, and I had to restart. And when I restarted, my entire project was gone. So I had to spend the next day recreating my project. I'm sure most of you are like, whatevs, I was gonna see it when I see it. But it's actually really important to me that I'm on time, that I log in at the same time every week. So anyways, please accept my humble apology, and without further ado, here's episode 7 of the Weekly Melt-Off. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Weekly Melt-Off. My name's Katie. I created this channel to motivate me on my weight loss journey. I started at 300 pounds, and today I want to talk about how I got there, how it got this bad. So let's start off episode 7 of the Weekly Melt-Off. Now, before we get into the topic for today, I wanted to highlight a comment I got last week from Petunia Romania. She is a great advocate for not weighing in at all. Just follow your low-carb meal plan, stay active, drink lots of water, but just stay away from that scale. Use your undergarments, your ankle bracelets, your bracelets, watches, socks. Use that to measure your success by how loose they eventually become. Now, I totally empathize with anyone who religiously follows their new healthy diet and exercises regularly, and then goes on the scale and the results are less than what they expected. I myself am a serial offender of weighing myself every day, and sometimes I gain weight for seemingly no reason at all. And it's so like, why? I did everything right. I'm essentially negotiating with this scale. It turns into the cycle of grief. I'm now arguing with myself, which then turns into an argument with my husband about how unfair this is. And it's after a chunk of time that I either lose confidence in my diet and go back to bad habits, or I see reason that my weight fluctuates daily for a plethora of reasons. Bloating, periods, water retention because I had too much salt the day before. And the truth is that you'll only see true results over a longer span of time. Now, having said that, I absolutely support anyone who is addicted to weighing themselves every day to avoid the scale as much as possible. But this channel is sort of based on me logging in my success and my failures weekly. Hence, the Weekly Melt-Off. So I will continue to weigh in once a week, which, believe me, is hard enough. Now, let's get on with the topic. 300 pounds. How did I get to this? Now, I'm going to narrow it down to 3 reasons. I know it might sound really broad and general, but I also want it to be palatable for you guys. I don't want to tell my life story. And also, I don't remember everything. But I do want others to watch this, to relate to this, to know that they're not alone, and possibly tell their own story. Which reminds me, please comment down below with your advice, your thoughts, and your good juju, and join my Instagram at the_weekly_melt_off. Now let's get back to the topic. Now, reason number 1, my early diet. So story time, guys. Since I could remember, my mom has always been on a diet. She's never been obese, maybe a little bit overweight, but nothing to obsess about in my opinion. She was athletic, she was on the swim team, she was a cheerleader, but she'd always obsess about how skinny her friends were. And she was a product of her time. I'm sure my Nana, who's 80 pounds soaking wet, nitpicked her And I'm sure my uncles were douchebags to her when she was growing up. And I'm not saying this lightly. My mom is really sensitive. If anyone just mentions that she might be overweight, she dwells on it forever. And I am not unaware that I totally inherited her sensitivity. We'll get back to that later. Now back to the point. My mom was always on a diet, which means as her daughter, I was always on a diet. I was forced to eat her diet food and I wanted everything, but I craved bad food precisely because I couldn't have it. Whenever I had access to it, I had way more than my share. Even into my adulthood, I obsess about trying everything because something in my head is telling me that I might never get to have it. This obsession directly leads into reason number 2. My food addiction. Before I continue, I want to get something out of the way. I was never truly abused or bullied as a child, but I was very lonely. And I was very sensitive to the fact that I was fat and ugly and awkward and weird, and I knew that my peers probably agreed with that fact. Hence the loneliness. I am a true introvert. And I am just terrified of embarrassing myself in public, and I'm terrified of failure. And that feeds into my food addiction and my binge eating. Now, my family, at least one side of my family, is predisposed to addiction. And without getting into it, I feel lucky that I only got an addiction to food. That might be saying too much. Like I said before, I was obsessed with food. I hated eating at the dinner table because I never ate the amount that I actually wanted to eat. I actually ate in my room 99% of the time in front of the TV. I hid food in my room, I hid food in the car, I'd buy food and hide it from my parents so they didn't know how much I was eating, and it was a lot. Not only was I eating more than my share, I was binging, and I was binging to the point of being sick, like throw up sick. For those of you who just don't understand the phenomena of people eating themselves sick, just consider it as a regular addiction. Similar to alcoholics and drug addicts, the food I ate went straight to the pleasure center of my brain, and I just couldn't stop eating until I physically couldn't stop eating. Food just gave me that shot of relief. It erased my stress for a few minutes. Basically, I have a biochemical dependence on food. Oddly enough, I can't eat when I'm upset. When I'm angry, I literally feel sick to my stomach, which leads me to assume that I don't have an actual binge eating disorder, which refers to family dysfunction or unresolved trauma. I have a few links in the description below if you're curious about the difference between binge eating disorder and food addiction. I also have a few videos that were very helpful to me, one by Jordan Shrinks and the other one by Lindy Cohen. So yeah, go down in the description if you're interested. And finally, reason number 3, dieting. Oh, many diets. I think my first diet was when I was in 7th grade. I didn't eat until I got home. And when I did, I had a baked potato with refried beans and salsa on top. That's it. I was still the largest girl in class, but not by much. In high school, I ballooned up to 280 pounds until my senior year, where I got on a diet and I got down to 180 pounds. What I did was, well, my dad gave me an allowance only if I lost weight that week. Then I went to college and I ballooned up again until my 3rd year, where I basically just stopped eating, and I exercised every day until my weigh-in, after which I would binge like there was no tomorrow. But I got to the smallest I've ever been, 133 pounds, FYI, I did not consult a nutritionist. Uh, I feel like that is when I was my most unhealthy. It wasn't sustainable, and quickly I fell off the wagon. After college, I did a vegan diet, I did the Master Cleanse, remember the Master Cleanse? And I did the Subway diet where I just ate a foot long every day. I have a trigger warning for you guys. I remember taking a 5-day cleanse where I took 5 days worth of vitamins, that's it. And on the last day, the vitamins upset my stomach so much that I threw them up. But I was so committed to this that I retook the vitamins that I threw up. Just before I met my husband, I got into a self-help kick and I read all these books to boost my confidence. I got into a gluten-free diet, I got a personal trainer, I got down to 200 pounds, and then I met my husband and I grew a case of the Fuckets. The last time I dieted was before my wedding. I got down to about 240 pounds, but once the wedding was finished, the Fuckets grew back. I feel like every food addict has tried to diet and failed way too many times than they want to count, which really sucks because you know the more you diet and fail, the harder the next diet is. Yo-yo dieting, it just adds to your slow metabolism. And I think it actually assisted in developing my hypothyroidism, which I only found out about a month ago. So this leads to the question, what makes this weight loss journey any different from all the past diets that I have done in the past? And the answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. Obviously, my past diets weren't sustainable to me. The fact that I'm doing this and that I'm totally motivated is good enough for me. I will say that creating a YouTube channel just for the success of my weight loss is different. I am really grateful that I decided to do this, and I'm so grateful to everyone that has given me advice and awesome vibes so far. I want to give another shout out to Petunia Romania for the advice you gave last week. I read every comment I receive and I reply back. So please feel free to comment and join my Instagram at the_weekly_melt_off. Before I end this show, I want to let you guys know that this might be the last time you see this type of video on this channel. I think I said everything that I need to say about my point of view and my background. Really, I just think I'm talking too much in general. Unless something really interesting comes up and I want to put my 2 cents into it, I'm going to veer more into a proactive approach to my videos in the future. To the point, I want to start sharing my favorite low-carb recipes on this channel. I am an absolute amateur cook, but I find cooking to be very therapeutic. Cooking is how I break. I'm all over Pinterest, picking up all these keto, low-carb, gluten-free recipes here and there. But the biggest challenge has been finding recipes that both me and my husband like. You guys, he is outrageously picky. And I'm going to share these recipes with you that even a non-keto would like. Other than sharing recipes, I'll go into tips that I use every day. Hey guys, cut down on using the scale every day. I'll share my daily activity routine that has been successful so far. I'll go into my food budget every month, because if you haven't seen my last video, I'm saving up to go to Disney World. And of course, every week I'm going to log in my weight. Last week I was this. And this week, I'm this. You guys, I broke into the 260s. Well, that is the end of my video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Comment down below if you have any thoughts, advice, or good juju. Subscribe if you want to follow my weekly progress. Join my Instagram at the_weekly_melt_off. And I will see you next week. I'm now arguing with myself and eventually my husband for... I'm not... 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Man, the sun's coming in. Man, the sun. For those of you who don't understand... Sorry, gotta stop for the sun. For those of you who... Dude, the sun. 1, 2, 3. Really? Really? I just think I'm talking too much in general. Thanks. I'm all over Pinterest, picking up keto, low carb recipes here. You're really distracting me. Stop it.
I'm not doing anything.
You guys, I broke into the 260s. I'm not putting that in. You guys, I broke into the 260s.